We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five.
What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, here with my brother from another big game, James, man. And there's another episode of Best of Enemies. So we got a lot to talk about. Today we're gonna do something a little fun, man. James had an idea to do a little, contender or pretender series real quick. Go through all of these unbeaten teams, see if they real. But what's going on, James? How you been, brother?
You know how I've been, dog.
Yeah, tough times.
Life in general, cool. You feel me? Love life. Another good day. We talking football. Another good day. But yeah, some stuff happened in Cowboys land. It kind of just frustrating, but you got to move on. But yeah, we'll talk about that in depth here in a few. But tough, just tough, dog.
Yeah. I mean, everybody, if you don't know, you are, I don't know where you've been, but it's unfortunate. I've said it from the beginning, man. I want the Philadelphia Eagles to play the Dallas Cowboys at 110%. I want both teams to be healthy. Unfortunately, we won't get that. It looks like it's a big loss. It's a big loss. But talk to me about, obviously we know what happened with Trayvon Diggs. I don't think we have to really rehash that, but what is the plan? I'm hearing Deron Bland. How confident are you in Deron Bland? How big is this for the Cowboys?
I think we're gonna be okay. Just to let John Secunda know, now that Diggs is out for the season, how much more excuses will come from BGJ. I don't bring excuses, so you must not know this channel. So that's one thing I don't do is give excuses. So you must be talking to another BGJ. So that's the AI BGJ you're talking to, not this one, because this one don't make no excuses. Anyway, obviously, with Trevin Diggs going down, Deron Bland, we got Jordan Lewis too. So I made a video right after Trevin Diggs got hurt and said, hey, why don't you throw Jordan Lewis out on the outside? Because Jordan Lewis in his rookie year in 2017, he played outside corner the whole year. And he was very effective in it. He gave up, I think, 5 touchdowns, had some penalties, but you could see the potential. He had like 10 pass deflections, 7 pass breakups, gave his lowest number total the whole year in yards, 384. Receivers were only averaging like 10 yards a catch on him, only completing 59% of their passes against him. He had his best year, you know what I'm saying? So we've seen him be able to do it. So I was like, hey, why don't you try to do that, Quinn, and put him on the outside? You can keep Bland because Bland is a dog inside at the slot. And, he's played inside, outside, but the most time in his career, he's played in the slot. So I said, hey, why don't you throw Jordan Lewis out there? You could do it. But, they're going to go with Bland on the outside because obviously he has longer arms. I think he has like 35-inch arms. Jordan Lewis only has 31. He's about 6 foot. He runs a 4.4, sub 4.4. You feel me? So all that tells you, let's go ahead and put him on the outside because he can transition and be out there at the outside corner. You saw what he did as a rookie, 5 interceptions. He came in for Jordan Lewis when Jordan Lewis went out with the injury, and he didn't fall off at all. This year, he's already got a 1 interception, return for a touchdown off a deflection, obviously, with Trevin Diggs. So I believe a lot of people have confidence in him. He has Stephon Gilmore, who's there with him, and I think that's the good thing. So even though we lost Diggs, you still got Gilly. Gilly is a seasoned veteran. He's going to be there to help him. The team is going to be there to help him. I think he's going to be okay. You still got Jordan Lewis on the slot, and you can mismatch. So I don't feel bad because all 3 of those players are still ball hawks. Jordan Lewis is still a ball hawk. Deron Bland is still a ball hawk. And Gilly is still in his asset is still a ball hawk too because he can get that ball out the sky. So for me, I'm cool. As far as what we have, I would like to probably add a veteran maybe in the mix because we got a lot of young players. I mean, we got Eric Scott, who we drafted. I don't want him to see the field. He's too green. I don't think he's ready for that life. We got Izzy Mukamo, who can slide, play your safety and play inside in your slot as well. We also, who else do we got? Oh, damn! Some of the cornerbacks are just kind of dropping out of my head, but it is what it is. You feel what I'm saying? But I think we're going to be okay for the simple fact that we have front. It's our front. Whenever you build a team, you build the team from inside out.
Yeah.
You don't build the team from the outside in. So as long as you got Micah Parsons, as long as you got that defensive front that can create pressure, that makes it easier for your corners. So your corners ain't got to cover a lot, because we've seen NFL teams, Joe, that don't have the greatest cornerback play, but that front line is crazy, and it's continue to put in pressure after pressure and pressure. So if you don't have to cover long as a corner, it's beneficial for you. So as long as you got that defensive front, your team is going to be okay. So I think we can mask this. It's obviously a huge blow. You can't replace the Trevin Diggs, but as long as you got that defensive front that can create pressure, get sacks, things of that nature, it makes it easier for your back end, and your back end doesn't have to cover long. So I think we're going to be okay in that aspect.
Yeah, I think Philadelphia Eagles fans can kind of, I know people are, Drew's already in the chat going, but I know Eagles fans are going to talk that talk. We'll keep it respectful. Obviously, we're not going to, Bart Scott it, but,
Right.
I think Eagles fans can relate because we just lost Avonte Maddox. We're used to getting a whole bunch of injuries in the secondary. We're used to our secondary, to be 100% honest, past 5 years. We're used to our secondary being kind of cheeks. Usually our secondary is not that good. It's really our front four that does what they got to do for us. So we get it. I mean, I definitely understand that you guys have a Micah Parsons. You have a Mozzie that's looking decent. You got that Osa, a guy that's putting up sack numbers. You got a decent front four, front seven in general.
It ain't decent. It's
you got a good. You got a good
it's
one.
one of the tops in the league. It's not decent.
We'll see.
Well, I mean, we're leading the league in pressures. I think we're leading the league in sacks. I believe we have 10 sacks. I believe we're leading the whole league in pressures by margin. So it's not okay.
Which we'll talk about, because I mean, where do matchups come in? Where do you say, all right, we played these two teams? Because I get that your defense is nasty, and I'm not taking that away from you, but I mean, we put up eight sacks on the Jets last year. I mean, that's not nothing to really pound your. We'll talk about it though, because I think that you guys are very good.
It doesn't matter whoever you play. If you're dominating them, which our defense is doing, that's what your defense is supposed to do. Your defense is supposed to dominate them. They had a run game. They had Breece Hall. They had Dalvin Cook. They could have ran the ball, but we kept on stopping the run. Every time they try to get runs, we stopped them quickly. You saw what Micah Parsons did with Dalvin Cook taking that ball from him. So yes, we do have an elite front line right as of right now, and it's not going to change because, like I said, you got a guy named Micah Parsons who's the best in the league right now. So as long as you have him, you can move him around, and then you got other good components on that team that can do things. So at the end of the day, yeah, you might not play the great quarterback in Zach Wilson, you may not play the great quarterback in Daniel Jones, but at the end of the day, you suffocated them, you destroyed them, you did what you were supposed to do. You didn't play around with them. You didn't have people saying, we don't know about this team. Look at what Zach Wilson did. Look what Danny Jones. Look, that's what they could have said, but they didn't, because we squashed it and killed it really quickly with that D.
I agree. I mean, I agree. Yeah, you guys did what you were supposed to. We'll see. It's not going to change definitely this week because you guys play the Cardinals. So
right.
you've had a very favorable beginning to the schedule, but like you said, you play who's in front of you. And I remember saying that as an Eagles fan last year. And
yeah,
a lot of people telling us that it wasn't. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You play trash teams. You ain't that good. But we'll see. We will see. So today we are going to go through all the undefeated teams. Obviously,
hold on 1 second, Joe. Hold on 1 second, Joe. I mean, Drew, I just got to just tell him this. Be quiet, dog. You just be talking. You just don't even be making no sense. Y'all didn't play nobody either. The Patriots are 0-2 for the first time in how long? They're 0-2, and the Patriots are not a good team. You even said that, Joe, the Patriots weren't a good team when you said you played them. Before you played them, you said you want to do a good team. Minnesota, come on, dog. Ain't nobody scared no Minnesota. They got Justin Jefferson. That's it. And you seen what he does. He's going to put up career numbers, but they ain't going nowhere. This is the same thing, everything with Minnesota. Justin Jefferson's going to put up big numbers, and Kirk Cousins going to throw for 100,000 yards and ain't going to do nothing. So neither one of them teams y'all played are any threat or any good either.
I would say Minnesota. Patriots are better than the Giants. Patriots definitely are better than the Giants.
I don't know about that one.
I would definitely take the Patriots, especially
we're going to play each other. So
going to be pretty good.
We'll see. They're 0-2 right now. They play some else. Then we got them the week after, which we're going to kick their butts too.
Let me not say. I was about to say something to somebody in the comments. I ain't gonna say. I think you already know who I was about to say, but I ain't even gonna say it.
Yeah,
you saw my whole face change.
Be good.
So today's probably gonna get a little spicy. It is what it is. At the end, I'm gonna save the Eagles and the Cowboys. Obviously, they both are undefeated right now. I'm gonna save them for last because that's probably gonna be where it gets a little spicy. But we're going to talk about all the undefeated teams. So you guys let us know how you're feeling. We're going to go through and see if we think that these guys are real or if they're, just getting lucky with the teams they're playing or whatever it may be. It's still early on in the season. We'll continue to probably do this as the teams start to shrink down. But let's hop right into it. And shout out to everybody already in the chat, man. We got 75 people in the chat. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe wherever you are.
All that.
So we'll start with probably one team that I honestly did not expect to be undefeated at this point, which is the Atlanta Falcons. Obviously got Bijan Robinson out there. Bijan's looking like a dog. Bijan is like really making me regret saying that we should not get a running back in the first round. He is looking really, really good. But so far they got wins against the Green Bay Packers and the Panthers. Obviously not, the Packers of old, and the Panthers aren't looking too good this year. The Detroit Lions, they got up next. So they got Kyle Pitts out there. He's not putting up crazy numbers, but he looks good out there. They got Ritter at the quarterback position. I did bring up Bijan Robinson, who it feels like they're going to just run him into the ground, So what are your thoughts? Like I said, I'm surprised that this team is 2-0 right now, but where are you sitting right now on the Atlanta Falcons?
I mean, if we're talking about contender, pretender. It's a pretending team to me. It's 2-0, but like you said, look who they played. They played the Carolina Panthers the first game. Carolina Panthers had the #1 draft pick that for a reason. So I'm not counting that victory at all because Carolina is just not really a good team. You feel me? So that's a team under construction. Then when you talk about the Green Bay Packers, I mean, this is the first full year with Jordan Love. So they're going to have some ups and downs. And Bijan is a dog. We see that right now. Bijan is a dog. They got Drake London. He's pretty good as well. But at the end of the day, they don't really have anybody that can really rush the passer. Okay. They got Grady Jarrett, who's nice, but they don't have really no edge guys that can really turn up. Terrell is on the cornerback. He's a nice corner, but you don't really have anybody that can put pressure from the defensive side. So I think they're going to struggle with that. And Desmond Ritter, I know he's made a few passes out there, critical passes, but I'm sorry, I don't think anybody's scared of Desmond Ritter. I think he's currently the one of the lowest rated quarterbacks in the league right now, even with those 2-0. And I feel like those warts are going to show. And honestly, I think they play the Detroit Lions. I think the Detroit Lions will have something for them. So I think they're just a pretender. I think it's the teams they played, and once they come against more formidable opponents, then you'll start seeing the warts come out, and then you'll start seeing those things. And shout out to my guy Justin D for the 777 holla, 7 for Diggs and 7 for me for my B-Day, which is coming up, Libra Gang, October 15th. And if you want to continue to contribute on that, you can follow Justin D's lead. Thank you.
Yeah, my girl's birthday is like 6 days after yours, so I remember both of y'all's. I remember both of y'all.
Nice.
But no, I agree. And to go through some of they're kind of doing pretty well defensively, actually. Like yards per game allowed, they were third, 252 yards per game allowed. They're 8th in turnover differential at +2. Running game, like I said, is just beastly this year. 170.5 per game, third in the league, and then 8th in points per game allowed, and then 14th in points per game scored. So, I mean, and then passing yards, like you said, he's near the bottom of the league, 28th in the league. So he's definitely not doing the greatest. Jalen Hurts isn't too far off from there, so I can't talk too much junk right now. We're kind of following that same lead of just letting the defense and the running game lead. But I agree. I think that this Falcons team will come down to earth probably this week. I like the Detroit Lions, to be 100% honest. They probably could have been 2-0 if I'm not mistaken. They had some really good games against Seattle and Kansas City. Seattle barely beating them. So I think they could have been 2-0. We could have been talking about them. But yeah, I think the Falcons, not there yet. I do like what they have with Kyle Pitts. I like, Bijan Robinson. Their defenses, they got some young guys over there that, can be something. I just don't think right now. I think maybe a year or two, we'll see what they are. But right now, I would say pretender. A lot of people in the chat saying huge pretender.
Yeah.
Pretender. Yeah, I think definitely a pretender. And shout out to Bucks fan in the chat. We're gonna get to the Bucks. We're definitely gonna get to the Bucks.
I like that. We got a Bucks fan in here. I like that. That's what's up.
Yeah, he came in yesterday. I was like, okay, all right, I respect it. He's man respectful. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So we'll go pretender with the Falcons, and I think we both agree they'll probably get their first loss this week
Yeah.
against the Lions. So
Yep.
we'll be watching that game, see how right we are. Now, next, another team that I wouldn't say I'm surprised, but I am surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit surprised because I feel like I don't know how I feel about this team, and I don't know how I feel about Lamar Jackson. I feel like Lamar Jackson is just inconsistent, in my opinion, and I might be crazy for saying that. I might be crazy for saying that, but I personally think that this team. I mean, you played the Bengals, which is a good team, but Joe Burrows hasn't looked like
Mhm.
himself. And then you played
Mhm.
the Texans, and obviously you went out there and blew them out. The Colts isn't really a good, it's not really a good measure of what type of team you are, And then you lose your best running back, one of your best players, realistically. I'm on the fence here. They're
Yeah,
middle of
I
the
know
road
it's
almost
tough.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's tough.
I would say they're a contender just
Mhm.
because of Lamar, but like I said, I do feel like he's a little inconsistent, but I would say that they're a contender. I don't feel like the AFC has really shown that they're that great this year. I think a lot of people went into this, year thinking that the AFC was it and the NFC would just kind of fall into place. All the quarterbacks are in the AFC. They haven't really looked all that great. If I'm,
Mhm.
maybe I'm bugging, but I really don't think they look all that great. So, but I'll say that they're a contender because, like I said, because of Lamar Jackson and because of the conference that they're in. I think anybody, what I'm saying, can really come out of that division right now or that conference right now. So I'll say contender. I'll say contender. And they have a pretty easy schedule. They don't really play a good team till
Mhm.
maybe Detroit, you want to say, maybe
Mhm.
Seattle. They don't really play any good teams. So I'll say contender.
I will go with you as well with that. When you mentioned them, I was like on the fence as well. But one of the things I'm gonna say contender number one is because the division they play in,
Yep.
the Browns, and I'm sorry, Deshaun Watson just looks a shell of himself now, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
he looks
He
bad.
doesn't, yeah, he doesn't look like the same person. Bengals, we all obviously they've already got at them, and they're a little uneven right now. And then obviously you got the Steelers, who I'm sorry, they weren't good last year, and we don't know what they are, and I don't really think they're going to be any kind of a threat this year as well. So I think by kind of default, their division kind of helps them. Plus, I think Harbaugh's a great coach. In my opinion, I think that's one of the deciding factors of why they win is because of coaching. And I feel you with Lamar Jackson. I don't know what to think about Lamar Jackson. I mean, obviously, he's a great talent, right? He is a great talent, but he's just so kind of seems inconsistent to me sometimes, with the passing, things of that nature. But when I look at their offense, man, that Zay Flowers is tough.
Yeah.
He's nice. I like that little addition from Zay Flowers. I feel you what you said when you lost a guy like J.K. Dobbins. That's going to really hurt them. They got Gus Edwards now at the running back position. Um, but traditionally, the Ravens usually have good defenses. So I think that's going to be good for them. They got David Ojabo, who's over there now. Matobike, I kind of liked him. They got Jadavion Clowney over there. We know what he is, but that's still some decent talent. You feel me? So I think by default, I'm going to go ahead and give them contender because the division they play in, they got good coaching. Lamar Jackson still is a pretty good quarterback. And so I think, and just like you said, the schedule is not daunting. So for that fact, and it could get hot at the end of the year. So I'm gonna go with contender right now, with those factors involved.
Yeah, yeah, and they just activated Melvin Gordon from the practice squad, so maybe that fills in that hole. We'll see. I didn't even realize he was on their practice squad. That's kind of crazy that they were able to stash him on their practice squad. But shout out to them, man. I like the Ravens. I'm not gonna lie. One of my friends is a a really big Ravens fan. I always liked the team. I always kind of felt like they had swagger, right? You Ray Lewis, you had that whole defense back in
Mm-hmm.
the Suggs. You had
Mm-hmm.
you T Sizzle was a beast, bro. Like
T.
you,
Sizzle, that whole
yeah,
defense was a beast, dog.
they had some players. They had Tony Saragusa back in the day. Like they
Mm-hmm.
always just had some swagged out players. So I always have
Mm-hmm.
respect for the Baltimore Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're just a different team. Shout out to Harbaugh. I think he's a great coach. Came from the Philadelphia Eagles, so nothing but love
Oh
over
Lord.
there. Yeah, he was our special teams coach. So shout out to him. He's doing his thing. I will say I like how he's changed his offense totally for Lamar Jackson. Like when Lamar
Mm-hmm.
Jackson came in, he was not running anything that he's running now. So
Right.
it's good to see somebody go out there and coach for his players instead of just making his players, play in the system. So I respect what they're doing over there. But yeah, I'll say contender for now. I think we agree with that. I think Colts, that should be an easy dub. If they go out there and lose that game, I'm gonna be very surprised. So they'll probably go 3-0. They'll probably go 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
Now, next, we have the New Orleans Saints. Derek Carr, excuse me, the resurgence. I don't even know if you want to call it a resurgence. He had a bad game one. Second game wasn't too bad, but against the Tennessee Titans, which I don't really know what they're going to be this year. And then the Panthers, again, what we said, they're not, doing really much this year, but they're 2-0. You play who's in front of you. They've looked decent on defense. They've looked, like they're starting to maybe, get it together on offense. I'm going to say pretender. They got Green Bay Packers next, which should be a pretty easy win again. I just don't see it. I really just don't see it. I don't think that there's enough out there. They do have a good defense. They do have the players out there. I just don't see it. Maybe I'm crazy. Derek Carr is a great quarterback. I really think that he's very underrated in my opinion. But I just don't think he has enough. Michael Thomas is out there yelling "Crip Gang" and stuff.
I know, right?
Like I just don't see it.
I just want to say that was so funny. Crip Gang, but ran right into the locker room.
Yeah, bro. I was like, "What are you doing, bro?" Yeah, that was hilarious.
Oh my God, Crip Gang! But that boy scooted when Brown jumped on him.
To his defense, I would too, man. That boy big, bro. I
big dude.
No smoke.
But don't be screaming Crip Gang when they right on your ass.
And then run away, bro. I've never seen somebody that was
Don't
crazy.
do that. That was
especially for that, I have to say pretender. that adds to my pretender.
Yeah, that might add to the pretender, just like on that one.
Yeah, that was bad. So yeah, I mean, look, like I said, they have players like we said, Michael Thomas. You got Marshawn back there, but I don't know if he's, if he's healthy. It feels like, not to make a joke about, but I feel like they always have key injuries too. Like they always have that one big player that goes down. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it sucks to see, but I think Alvin Kamara is hurt right now, if I'm not mistaken. Like they just always have somebody that they need down. So I'm definitely saying pretender. I think that this team is going to come down to earth really quick. Might even be against the Packers. I don't think that they're that great. So, I think that they're going to come down to earth very, very soon. So I'm going to say pretender.
I'm going to agree with you, but very slightly. I just feel like the Saints can compete for a playoff spot just because I don't feel like the NFC is that strong. I mean, it is good. I can't say, let me not to say that the NFC is strong. So, I'm gonna agree with you because your coach, I don't really know what he is. They got some talent. Michael Thomas, he's not the guy he used to be, but Chris Olave is nice. I like the quarterback in Derek Carr, but we've seen Carr break down. We've seen Carr, go through his things. I don't know about this offensive line. Don't think it's the greatest right now. You got Penning, who they picked up last year, was supposed to be the darling of the draft, and he got worked and injured. And like I said, I don't trust that offensive line. Like you said, the defense, they got some players. They still got Jordan. They got Tyrann Mathieu, although he's not that guy anymore. Marshawn Lattimore is playing pretty good. Granderson is turning up for them right now. So in that aspect, they got DeMario Davis, so they can put some pressure on you. Feel me? That defense is sneaky. You know what I mean? They got a sneaky defense that can put pressure on you. You got a quarterback that can make some plays. But it comes down to Derek Carr, and I just don't think Derek Carr, as much talent he has, Derek Carr chokes it.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I just can't believe in him. I'm sorry.
He might be out here screaming Crip Gang, he might be a Crip Gang soon too. That was just the funniest thing ever. I should have took a clip of that. That was hilarious.
You should have, because that when you yell at Crip Gang and then run into the locker room, bro, you can never talk no thuggish stuff again and run into the locker room. Just square up. I mean, hey, you yelling it, you might as well square up. I mean, it is what it is, but that's funny. That nigga's Crip Gang.
you win some, you lose some. But if you go pouch your chest like that, you might as well stay there. You know what I'm saying? Get it done.
Get it done.
But yeah, you got a Rebel What the heck? The stickers are the dopest thing on the platform. But you got another super chat.
Yeah, I appreciate the pixelated hippo. I love that. Chomps up for one. My dog Rev Rebels always have been a great supporter. Hey ho, another $2 holla. Appreciate y'all once again. Birthday donations, donations, donations. We taking them.
Yeah, he gonna have a good. He gonna have a birthday. Maybe
Hmm.
he could buy me a ticket to the Eagles Cowboys game for his birthday.
Watch that loss for y'all.
Hey, bro, we gonna win. I feel good, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Mhm.
Next we have. Let's see who I want to do. I want to do the. Yeah, we'll do the Dolphins.
Hmm.
Dolphins, they've looked really good. I mean, they had a tough game against the Patriots, and that's why I say the Patriots defense looks pretty good. They're fast, they get around the ball. And I'm not saying that just because we had a tough time with them. I think
No,
that
they
they
do have
have improved.
they do have a good defense, but that's Belichick. That's what he does. He's
Yeah.
been a defensive coordinator. So if anything else, they will always have a good defense.
Yeah. So I think that look, I think the Dolphins are contenders. I think they're Super Bowl contenders, if I'm being honest. And it just comes down to health. Is Tua going to make it through, 17 to 20 games? Like, I don't know if you're going to be able to do that. And Jalen Waddle, too, they've both been hurt, So I think that the team as constructed is definitely a contender. And I think they have a pretty easy schedule, if I'm not mistaken. So I would put money on them if they can stay healthy. I think that they'll be one of the better teams in the league. Forget just in the AFC or in their division. I think they'll be one of the better teams in the league, and they're in a really tough division, if I'm not mistaken. I think they got a couple people that are 2-0. So I would say definitely a contender. I definitely think they're a contender.
I would totally agree with you. They're definitely a contender. Their offense is explosive. Obviously, you talked about the injuries that you're going to have to keep an eye on with Jalen Waddle. But I mean, Tua's playing really good, and they still have Tyreek Hill. So that offense is explosive. Mostert is a good running back. He's got a lot of speed that he can really hit you off the edges, so they can attack you in those type of ways. But I think the biggest thing for them is their defense. They got Jalen Phillips, Christian Wilkins, Bradley Chubb all up front, and it starts up front. If you got a front line that can put pressure on guys and make plays, then you always have a chance. They still have Xavier Howard on the squad. So yeah, they're definitely a contender. Like you said, they play in the AFC East, so it's going to be a tough division. You got Buffalo in there, New England, like you just said. So they got some some teams in there so it's going to be a competitive division. But I think on talent alone, because we saw the talent last year and how it came together. And I feel like that talent rises above other things. So that talent on the team, they got a guy on their team who's their center, and Connor Williams, who we thought was a cast off, and he's one of the best centers in the league now. So I definitely will agree with you as a contender. I don't know if they're competing for a Super Bowl. I don't know if they're doing that, but they're definitely a playoff team. Beyond that, we didn't see Tua in the playoffs, so that's still the jury still out on me with that.
True. Yeah, and I mean their numbers are crazy. Points per game, they're third at 30 points. Points allowed per game, not crazy, but they're at 19th. It's good enough. Total yards per game, 462.5 a game. That's obviously first. First in passing yards, 355, and they're 15th in rushing yards per game, which I think that's pretty damn good. They don't have like that bell cow guy. They don't have, and especially when you're passing for damn near 500 yards to be able to be middle of the road. That's good at the running game. But we talked about injury, right? And I think that Jalen Waddle already has a concussion. So
yeah,
that's really what it comes down to. I think we both agree there. It comes down to their health. I will say, outside of, and I want to know what you think, because outside of the Chiefs, and even they've looked kind of pedestrian at times, like who's really like a lock in that AFC to make it to the,
AFC is weak to me this year. It
really is.
AFC is really, really weak this year.
And we look at a team that they're playing next, right? The Denver Broncos, they should have been something, and they're disappointing.
I love seeing it. I love seeing it because everybody hypes up Sean Payton like he's the world's greatest coach ever in life. Like he just has 15 Super Bowls. Sean Payton this, Sean Payton that. Sean Payton got one Super Bowl, dog. You feel me? Sean Payton got one Super Bowl win. They haven't won, just because you got Drew Brees over there, and Drew Brees helps you. Just like when we even talk about Belichick. I know he's a great coach, but you ain't been so great without Tom Brady. You feel me?
Exactly.
So those great players can help you be a great coach or master things as a coach. Because I remember when I coached, I used to see really good teams that in certain leagues. This is one particular team we played, Joe. They were the Raiders, right? And you would think that their coach thought he was the best thing in the world, but no, you just had talent, bro. You just had talent every year. They just had talent every year. They just had the best players every year, right? But then when that talent started falling off a little bit, Joe, we ain't see that good coaching no more. And we started seeing smackdowns and losses and bundles. So your players can make you look like a really good coach as well. And I think Sean Payton is just really hyped over there, especially with them Broncos. And I ain't happy to see Russell Wilson, but they just always hype Russell Wilson. So I just like seeing that over there. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, and I'm gonna defend you real quick because Drew said the Cowboys were on Sean Payton's whatever junk they wanted him, which is true. But I will say, have always kind of kept that same energy.
Yes, I have.
You've
never
always
been on
kept that
Sean
same
Payton.
energy about
Nope.
Sean Payton, so I have to
Never.
defend you on that one. But
appreciate you, dog. You should know I was not on no Sean Payton because I said, well, you talking about let's go get Sean Payton. He had the same damn exact record as Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy had a little better winning percentage. So what, we're gonna go throw Mike McCarthy away for a dude that's got the same type of no, we're not. Just Sean Payton's overrated to me. And honestly, he's overrated to me.
yeah, and I mean, you look at the teams that we're talking about, right? We talked about the Saints. We're not talking about the Broncos. So, maybe it was the team, like you said. Maybe the team had a little something going on over there. So, yeah, I think we both agree with the Dolphins looking like they're a contender, at least to get out of the AFC East. At least to maybe make some noise in the playoffs. I think you're right with Tua. We got to see what he's going to be in the actual playoffs, but it'll be interesting. It'll be definitely interesting. They're a fun team to watch at the very least. I'll say that much. They are
right.
They have been very, very fun to watch. Now I'm gonna leave the three guys. There's three teams that I think, you guys hate the Eagles, you guys hate this team that we hate, and then we hate the Cowboys. So I'm gonna leave those three teams for last. And we're gonna talk about the team the Eagles are actually going to face this week. And shout out to the Bucs fan in the chat. So we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. They've beaten the Bears and they've beaten the Vikings. I'm not afraid of the Bears at all. I think that the Bears are kind of trash. It is what it is. I think Justin Fields kind of gave them that game in a lot of ways. But the Vikings, they have a good offense. They were able to slow down that offense, so I give them credit for that. And I've said this all week, and I'm going to keep on saying it. We have to go into this game and look at them as if they are a 2-0 team that can make it to the Super Bowl. That's how you got to look at this team. They have a good defense. They have an opportunistic defense. Mike Evans has been playing like a man that wants a contract, and I'm sure he does. And you got Godwin out there. You got a pretty good tight end, a pretty athletic tight end. Baker's looked pretty comfortable all year. So, I mean, you got to look at what they've been able to do, and I'm proud of them. I'm happy for them, right? I live in Tampa. I know a lot of people are happy, but I'm going to go with what every Tampa Bay fan out here has told me, and I'm going to say that they are a pretender. All right, at some point they're going to come down to earth. I will say if they beat us, we gonna have to talk about it. It's either we're a pretender or maybe they're real. You know what I'm saying?
No, they ain't. Okay.
If they beat us, I'm gonna be mad. But yeah, I think that right now they're a pretender. I think that they've overachieved, and I think that they should be very happy with what they're seeing. And I think that Baker Mayfield should be very happy with how he's performed as of far. Like I said, you have to play the games in front of you. So I give them respect, but I think that they're a pretender. So that's where I'm at right now.
I got two words for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers: Baker Mayfield. I'm sorry, I don't believe in him at all. And that's what makes them the pretender, in my opinion. They have, like I said, that Mike Evans is going crazy. They still got a good one back there. The offensive line, they got Tristan Wirfs, but really maybe not much else. So you have to keep your eye on that. Defensively, you got Vita Vea, you got Barrett on the squad, David White, both of those linebackers. Winfield Jr. You got some players on that defense, right? They got some players on that defense, But to me, I'm sorry, they got Baker Mayfield, and I know he's been turning up early. First couple games, he's been going crazy. But I've seen Baker Mayfield do this before. I've seen Baker Mayfield make plays, and but like you said, he's eventually going to come back down to earth. I feel like we're going to eventually see the real Baker Mayfield, and once we see the real Baker Mayfield, the whole team is going to follow suit. So they're definitely a pretender, in my opinion. I don't trust a Baker Mayfield for nothing. I don't believe in him, and I feel like he's going to be the reason why they will start their downward cycle. Because right now it's just hot. Minnesota, they're okay. They're not great. And then the Bears are just a debacle. We've seen what they're going through right now. Somebody just some thieves just broke into their damn facility and stole a whole bunch of their equipment. So that should tell you right now what the Bears are going through. So sorry, can't give you anything, Bucks. Y'all got Baker Mayfield, and I just can't give it to you. Even if they beat y'all, it's just going to be an upset to me, in my opinion. It's not going to be real, and I just don't trust it. No, I don't trust Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, Chicago got some things going on over there. I don't know
Woo.
what the hell's going on in
It's
Chicago,
crazy,
but
crazy times over in Chicago, baby.
whew, yeah, crazy time to be alive right now. They are.
Man.
I'll say one thing: it's not a lack of entertainment over there. They
Woo.
definitely are busy over there.
Damn.
But yeah, no, I agree with you. And somebody brought up their running game. That's to me, if they can get a running game going, then maybe it changes my perception of this team. But they're 18th right now in running, and I do not fear Rashad White at all. They might be bringing up Sean Tucker, the drafted guy that they got last year. He's pretty good. They might bring him up, maybe get him some snaps, and then maybe they can, formulate some type of run game. But right now, Baker Mayfield's kind of doing it on his own with the defense. And yeah, I don't think that that's a recipe for success, or at least long-term success, So we'll see what happens with them. I do respect what they're doing. And again, I'm not going to, and maybe it's because they're playing us this week. I don't want to overlook them. I don't want to, get too big for my britches. But, I think that they've done what they're supposed to do. They've played who's in front of them. They played a good game against the Vikings. You can make the argument that the Vikings gave them the game just like the Bears kind of did. So we'll see. The Eagles need to go out there and dominate them. But yeah, I definitely say pretender. I'm not afraid of them at all. But now let's get to the three teams that
you got one more team that's undefeated. Ain't Washington undefeated?
Oh yeah, we do. My bad. You're right. I forget about them because they pretenders. They pretenders. I'll pull it up though. Oops, I messed up.
I don't know.
The Broncos win was weird. I mean, that was a weird game. The Cardinals are trash. You better beat them. If they beat the Bills, then we're gonna talk. I'll say that much. If they beat the Bills and it looks good, Sam Howell has looked good. I will be honest. One of my subscribers made me kind of watch his video, his tape. He is playing pretty well. He looks poised. He's making plays. He's reading the field well. He's not making too many mistakes. He's utilizing what he has out there. That offensive line is protecting him. I think they're pretenders just because it's Washington. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe this is just me hating. You know what I'm saying? I just can't believe that they're, a real team. Like I said, if they beat the Bills, then we'll start talking. But we're also gonna start talking about Josh Allen if they lose. So, because Josh Allen has not looked that great this year. So I'm. Can I say on the fence?
That's a tough one. No, you got to pick one.
I'm going to say pretender with the caveat that this week it might change. If they beat the Bills, I will give them some respect, but I think that they're an up-and-coming team. I will say that much. I think they finally may have found their quarterback. I think that Sam Howell may still be like a year away from being that, that guy, but I think that he's pretty darn good. You obviously have Scary Terry out there. They have formulated a pretty decent run game. Their defense has always been pretty decent, so I'll say pretender for now, but it definitely could change.
Yeah, this is a very tough one. Very tough one. Because like you said, the teams they played, not that great. But I look at it like they were down 21-3 against the Broncos and they came back and won that game. So I'm looking at that. Even though the Broncos aren't good, the fact that you came back down and won that game. And to me, I'm gonna jump out there, and I hate Washington. That's my most hated team. Okay. Most hated team. I hate Washington. But I have to sit there and say they might be a contender. I'm gonna jump out there and say they might be a contender because they're taking over the Giants. Because remember, we said it was gonna be Cowboys, from my perspective, Cowboys, Eagles. We had the Giants as the third team, though, right? And
Yeah,
we had Washington as the fourth team. I think Washington has leaped above the Giants because
definitely.
Sam Howell. I remember when the start of the year, I was like, Sam Howell, but I don't know, dog. He been making some throws, bro. He been making some throws, and he's looked poison that pocket. And they got Scary Terry, they got Curtis Samuel, they got Jahan Dotson, they got receivers, dog. You feel me? Gibson is not a bad running back. The offensive line is not a bad offensive line, right? And then on defense, dog, they got Allen, Ridgeway, Payne, Sweat, Chase Young. I mean, what do we say? You build your team from the inside out, right? And the Commanders have a good front.
Yeah,
And as long as you got that front like that, dog, you're gonna be competitive. You feel me? Now I ain't jumping on that Ron Rivera as a coach, but he is a defensive minded coach, right? So I feel like they'll always be in the game defensively. And if Sam Howell plays good, they can win games. So I'm gonna go out there and say they're a contender right now. They leaped the Giants as in third place. And like you said, this Bills game is going to be the big one for me because I believe they can beat the Bills.
I do too. I do too. And it's really the game inside the game. I'm gonna watch that game probably pretty intently. I'm not gonna lie, because if they do look good in that game, especially offensively. I think that the Bills' defense is still pretty good. So I want to see how that offense goes against that defense. And I think it will be a very good game. And they're like middle of the field everywhere. Like they're seventh in points per game. They're 17th in points per game allowed. 19th in total yards, 16th in pass yards, 16th in rush yards, yards per game allowed, they're 11th, turnover differential, they're 11th. So they're kind of like right in the middle of the field, like everywhere. They've been kind of lucky with injuries. The biggest injury they've had so far, I think, is Cam Curl, and he's questionable going into this game. So they've been lucky, and I think that's the biggest thing. When you can get lucky with some injuries, lucky in the sense that you don't get some injuries,
Right.
that can really, really help you. And I think hell has frozen over because Drew agreed with you. So I'm gonna have to go outside and make sure that the pigs ain't flying.
Yeah, for real. He disagreed with me. That's what's up.
I don't think I've ever seen that. That is amazing. But no, I think more that you say, I don't think they're a contender, but I do think that they could be good. Like I don't know. I'm really on the fence. I'm really on the fence. But I'm gonna say pretender. I'm gonna stick with it. And next week we'll come back to this and we'll revisit it.
Yeah, it's going to be contingent on Sam Howell. I think he's going to be the difference. If Sam Howell can continue to play good football, they're going to be a contender, dog.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, we'll see what happens. The Rev says the Commanders ain't got what it takes, Joe. What does it take, though? It takes a good front line, takes a decent quarterback, good enough quarterback to make
they got that's what let's be honest. I mean, I hate Washington. Like I despise Washington, but let's keep it real, dog. They got a running game. They got receivers, bro. Like they got 3 receivers that can threaten you anywhere. It's gonna be the contingent on Sam Howell. If Sam Howell can play good sound football, yes, they are a contender because you got a defensive front that can always put pressure and keep you in the game. And as you said, if they stay relatively injury free, I do believe they are a contender, dog.
Yeah, we'll see. I respect what they're doing. I like Ron Rivera. You'll never catch me talking junk about Ron Rivera. I'm Puerto Rican. He's the first Puerto Rican head coach to go to the Super Bowl. He lost miserably, but until there's another one, I'm gonna show him love. That's my one little thing. Awesome. So now we're gonna get to the teams that we all really, really hate. I'm glad that we saved Washington though, because I know you guys hate them. So I really don't care about Washington.
I hate Washington.
Us.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. I told you, your rival within the division is the Giants. Our rival within the division is Washington. No matter what anybody says, Eagle fans be trying to make y'all rival to us. No, you're not. Not in my opinion. You're not that rival to us. It's the Washington, and the Giants are y'all's rival, and that's the way it is, and that's the way it's always be. Look at the history of the game.
Yeah, no, exactly. I agree. And we're not talking about the Giants because they trashed this year. Yep. All right. Next team we're going on is a team I don't think Eagles fans really hated them.
I hate that picture too. I hate that.
I love that picture. That's why
I hate that picture.
That's after he beat you.
Oh man. Well, whatever. Brock Purdy.
That's one of my favorite pictures. That's one of my anyways. But yeah, I'm glad that you recognize what picture that was. I didn't know if you would. But look, they're the only 3-0 team in the league right now. And Brock Purdy, outside of one drive, outside of the last game, one drive, he looked really bad. I think it was like the first drive. He had like 2 plays where they could have been picks, and the wide receivers kind of bailed them out. We talk about the front lines, we talk about you have to have everything in place. They have everything in place. They have a good defense, they got a good offense, they got a good offensive line, defensive line, and Brock Purdy has looked good. As much as I hate to say it, I think they're contenders. I think that they're very big contenders, to be honest. And I think the last 3 teams, including them that we're talking about, are probably going to be the best teams in the NFC. So, as much as it hurts me to say and pains me to say, I think that they are a contender.
Yeah, they're definitely a contender. They have everything that you need for our team. You just spoke about it. First of all, talk about that defense. They got Nick Bosa right there. They got your guy Hargrave, who looked like he's a good addition to that team. Armstead, Eric Armstead, I believe who it is. Yeah, Eric Armstead is still on the squad. So that front line is good. They got Warner, Greenlaw. Those guys are the truth at the linebacker position. Hufanga, he's one of the young top safeties in the league. They got some talent on that defensive front, and they're good. And then when you go to the offensive side, you saw Kittles, Debo Samuels is looking good. But I think the biggest addition to their team, honestly, has been Christian McCaffrey. When they traded for Christian McCaffrey, I feel like he is really solidified their offense. You know what I'm saying? They have a solidified running game. Christian McCaffrey ain't no joke, right? The only thing wrong with McCaffrey was his injury problems at Carolina. That's why they got rid of him. But when he's healthy, he's one of the best running backs in the game, period. Rushing and receiving. And that running game with him has really made it easier for Brock Purdy, because I don't know if Brock Purdy didn't have a run game, right? I don't know if he had a run game, would they actually be winning like this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And them having Christian McCaffrey really, really helps Brock Purdy. And I'm not going to say the jury's out on Brock Purdy, in my opinion. I don't think he's this elite quarterback that some of these guys are pumping him like he's the next great. No, I don't. I feel like he's a good quarterback. He's what do they call the bus driver? He is that guy. He's not the elite guy. But he's good. I can't sit there and say Brock Purdy's trash. He's not trash to me. So they're definitely a contender. They're going to compete to the end. And I feel like it's going to be us 3 competing for that Super Bowl. So I definitely got to say they're a contender. They got good coaching over there as well. And as long as Brock Purdy is playing good, I think they're going to be okay. I can't wait to play them. Because I want to get after Brock Purdy. I ain't gonna lie, I want to get after him from last year. But they're definitely a contender.
Yeah, and Twist says something that's true. I mean, the game against the Giants, the Giants had shots. The Giants definitely were in that game. They had chances, they just didn't make it happen. So, they're a team that can get got, but they're top 5 in almost every single category except for passing yards, which they're 12th. So they're definitely not a trash team. They're definitely somebody to kind of keep an eye out on. But I agree with you. Did you see that Mike Florio clip where he was talking about he just doesn't have a franchise quarterback type name?
Oh, Brock Purdy.
Yeah, he said when you listen to Brock Purdy, that's just not like a franchise quarterback's name. Like, I'm like, bro, what type of point is that? You get paid to say that on air? Like, that was ridiculous. But I mean, there's no denying this team's really good.
Like I said, he's a good quarterback. But I'm sorry, I'm not fearful of Brock Purdy. If the game is on the line, I'm not scared of Brock Purdy's going to beat us. I'm not afraid of that. But when you got a whole good team around you, and those components are there for you, it's going to help you. But I feel like, let's say like a Christian McCaffrey goes down, then you'll start seeing warts on Brock Purdy. That running game has really helped his game. And maybe that's one of the reasons why they traded for him. You know what I'm saying? But it's all contingent on that run game. If you can really stop their run game and really eliminate that, I think Brock Purdy comes down to earth. And he's not really – Brock Purdy doesn't scare me. It's just the team around him makes it better for him. Shut down that run game, you shut down the Niners.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, you get to that backfield, break his arm, and Brock Purdy ain't done. You know, that's what the Eagles did. That's it.
I mean,
But
you see how quick they went down. As soon as he got hurt, the game was over for them.
yeah,
You
exactly.
get what
And
I'm
they,
saying?
and the only touchdown they had was from Christian McCaffrey. He was the only reason I thought they might have still had a chance. So yeah, no, that was a huge pickup for them, and they paid for it like it was. So yeah, shout out to them. I can't wait to go whoop their tail, man.
Man,
They talk so much
yeah,
crap, man.
they talk a lot of trash. San Francisco is my second most hated team from Washington, so I can't stand San Francisco. Washington, I can't, but yeah, San Francisco, they just always be chirping because they got championships, so they tend to chirp a lot more because those championships. So yeah, they're just an annoying fan base to me as well. And I can't wait to play them. And that picture right there, I can't stand to get it off the script. Just get it off.
I was gonna use that for the Dallas one too,
Yeah,
but
okay. Yeah, there
I
we go.
did it.
Yeah, I like that picture because that's what he's looking at y'all with that smirk.
So we got the Dallas Cowboys.
How about the
2-0.
Cowboys?
I'll
How about
start.
the
I'll start
Cowboys?
here. They pretend. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
Now you guys are good, man. You guys are really good. Your defense has been doing very well. I'm not gonna say I'm worried about your offense, but I want to see your offense win a game. I think that they've played well. Don't get me wrong, and I think that they've went out there and they've done what they've had to do to win games. But I do want to see Dak Prescott go out there and do what Dak Prescott does. You know what I'm saying? Which is go out there and just throw the ball around the field and
Why?
because why do you want to see Jalen do it?
Well, because Jalen is a running and passing quarterback. You see what I'm saying? That's why
But you guys tell me all the time that Jalen needs to run for pass for 300. He's not a passer, so I need Dak to throw for 300.
I mean, you that's fine. You can do that, but I don't need Dak to throw for 300. I'm cool with
Neither
that.
do I. I'm glad I said that. I don't need Jalen Hurts. You know what I'm saying? You see how
That's
we get.
fine. Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
All
I
right,
don't.
but
I
no,
don't
realistically,
go ahead and finish with
I'm
yourself.
sorry. Yeah, no, I think that your offense has done what it's need to do to win, but I do want to see your offense take off a little bit. If I'm going to sit here and be like, oh, they're going to be a Super Bowl team, your defense, Super Bowl ready, no doubt about it. But I don't know if adding a injury-prone slot receiver is going to be taking you over the edge. So we'll see. I think that you guys are contenders. I talked all that junk just to say that, but I do think that you guys are contenders and Super Bowl contenders. But there are weaknesses, there are holes that I want to see. So and you guys, as much as you're gonna say it probably about us, you guys haven't played anybody. So I think that's fair to say. We'll see what happens when your defense has to go against a quarterback that's a little bit more competent. But right now, I think that you guys are definitely contenders. And you guys are great. It is what it is. You guys have looked really, really good, historically good on the defensive side. So I gave you flowers and I picked them at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. That's the best I can do.
Okay, well, there's no choice but to give us flowers. There's no choice but you to say we're a contender because we are. So it's nothing you can't make up. We are a contending team. Yeah, yeah, we're definitely more than all right. Yes, we haven't. But here's the funny thing: everybody was talking about the Giants were the darlings. They were going to do this. They were going to do that. They were going to do this, and we went in their crib and hammered them. Because guess what? Just like you said, they were competitive with the Niners in San Francisco. Daniel Jones can't you can't trust a Daniel Jones to do anything, especially if he get down a touchdown or so. It almost seems like the game is over. That Cardinals game, that's the Cardinals. So we can understand them losing a lead like that, whatever. But this was the Niners. You can't play like that against the Niners and think you're going to win like that against them, right? But they were competitive pretty much the whole game. They were in that game. That front line was given that Niners front fits as far as on the offensive side. So it wasn't sitting there like, the Giants were just this and that. We obliterated them. And then everybody talk about the Jets. So they were a Super Bowl team. So what? When their quarterback goes down, they're not a Super Bowl team. Everybody's saying this is Super Bowl defense, Super Bowl defense, Super Bowl defense, defense. And we smashed that defense. Yes, we should. We were 2 of 6 in the red zone. Yes, we should have scored more touchdowns, but we moved the ball at will on them. At will. Okay. And we did whatever we wanted against them. So yes, people talk about these two teams, but I think those two teams, people were talking about those were playoff teams and possibly Super Bowl teams. Am I not correct?
Not the Giants. The Jets, yeah, when they had Rodgers, everybody was talking
the Giants were going to be an improved team, and they were a playoff team, and they said they're going to be a playoff team again. They said they're going to take the next level, and we hurt their feelings so bad. We knocked all that talk out of there. So whatever talk that they had, we killed it. Okay, and people were talking about the Jets as a Super Bowl contender. Was it not?
Jets were, yeah, with Rodgers though. I mean, there
But
is.
were they still saying that defense was damn good?
They said the defense was good. Yeah,
And it is
I mean,
good.
but when
That defense is good.
if Dak Prescott went down, your defense would take a step back as well, realistically.
We went 4-1 with Dak Prescott went down.
But all right, never mind. You're right.
And
You're
our
right.
and our defense
You're right.
carried us. What are you talking
Your
about?
defense did, but I don't know if Dak Prescott was down for the whole year. I don't think that your defense would be the same. We'll see. I don't know.
We
Maybe
got
I
Michael Parsons.
Micah Parsons is great, but my whole thing is when you lose
Michael
your
Parsons
quarterback,
the
when you
best in
lose
the
your
league.
leader, it's tough to
Michael
bounce
Parsons is
back from that,
right. I get
especially
you.
the next week.
I feel you, but once again, the proof was in the pudding. Cooper Rush, none of us thought Cooper Rush was in any games last year, okay? Because none of us from Cowboy Land was worried about thinking Cooper Rush was going to do anything. We went 4-1. That defense took it to the next level. They became more of a conservative team. We had one of the worst offenses in the league with Cooper Rush as the quarterback. We were only averaging like 188 passing yards a game with Cooper Rush in them 5 games, right? And we still won 4 of them. You feel me? So that is you can't say that with the Jets because we did it, and so we can prove it. But as long as we got a Micah Parsons, dog, our team is always going to be good because, like I said, we got one of the best players in the league right now. Okay, and then if we're talking about across the board, I said we lead the league in pressures, we lead the league in sacks, and yes, Trevor Diggs definitely hurts. But as I said, when you got a front end, Osa Ogadazua is one of the best young defensive tackles in the game right now. You still got Jonathan Hankins. DeMarcus Lawrence is playing out of his mind right now. You still got waves with Dante Fowler. You got Sam Williams. You still got those guys. Marquise Bell, our secondary, as far as Jaron Curse, Marquise Bell, Wanye Thomas, Malik Hooker. We get Donovan Wilson back this week. So, yeah, we're definitely a contender. If you look at our offense, this is Dak's offense now, Joe. And that's what I've been saying to you before. When you had Jason Garrett, when you had Scott Linehan, when you had Kellen Moore, and we've seen what Kellen Moore is doing over there with the Chargers. He's doing the same damn thing, and they're losing because he was doing them same goofy plays. And people want to talk about, I make no excuses with that. But when you got that coordinator who went over there with the Chargers, like, watch what the Chargers do. Watch what. No. Yeah, we're watching what the Chargers do. They're doing the same dumb things that the Cowboys did with the play calling, and it hurts your team. Okay. And now I feel like you got Dak Prescott with Mike McCarthy, and it's one mind and one thought. And so that I feel like is going to be the difference with our offense because Dak has full control of this offense and it's finally his. And that makes the difference as far as you being a contender or a pretender as well. When you got a coach that's letting your players run it, right? I'm going to be the captain of it, but I'm giving you the keys, make it happen. And I just feel like this is a player-run team. It's based on leadership. And yeah, Cooks, he's an injured guy, but so is your boy N'Kobe Dean. But y'all still feel like he can be. Hey, I mean, you threw your shot at mine, I'm throwing your shot at yours. So anyway, but when Cooks comes back and Michael Gallup ain't even been turned up, and we got a guy in Jalen Tolbert. He's sneaky. So across the board, Tony Pollard, our run game, we're averaging like almost 40 rushes a game. We're balanced on that end, and I don't need Dak to throw no 400 yards in the game to prove nothing, nobody. That's what Goofy Kellen Moore was doing. He was trying to get him a job, so he want to have Dak throwing the ball everywhere so he can look like the world's greatest offensive coordinator. But we're doing responsible, mature football now, and you pass when you need to pass, you run when you need to run, and that's the difference with our team now. And I think that's what's going to be the difference in this season and in this year.
I just want that energy kept the same.
Oh, it is.
Jalen Hurts runs for 200 yards.
No, that's not going to happen.
I want that energy the same. I don't want to hear that. Oh, why y'all don't trust Jalen? Why you don't trust? We do what needs to happen to win. That's it.
Okay, but y'all don't trust him. We'll talk about that.
Don't trust Dak. Yeah, I don't trust Dak.
We'll throw the ball with Dak. That's
if you're running it 40 times,
he's throwing it about 35. Just balanced.
You guys are first in points per game, first in points allowed per game, which is crazy. 35-5. That's insane. You guys are 18th in total yards per game, 20th in passing yards per game because you guys don't trust Dak.
And that's
And
not
then
it. That's a whole lot. Dog, we threw 38 times, 31 to 38. He completed 80% of his passes for 265 yards, 2 touchdowns. And don't talk about, oh, it could have been a pick. It wasn't. Okay, so it's 2 touchdowns and 0. And didn't you say, Joe, the week before, oh, we're going to see Dak Prescott throw for more than 100-some yards? And what did he do? Against that top defense, what did he do? He dissected that top defense.
did good.
He was 13 of 13 in his first 13 passes,
He
dog.
was.
13 for 13, bro. So what are you talking about? He went out there and dissected that D. Didn't I tell you he played in the tsunami the first week? And I said, didn't I tell you he was going to bounce back this week? And that's exactly what he did. We didn't get conservative and want to hold it to the vest. And we'll talk about your guys because your guys do it. And you know you do it because you even agreed with me last week. And we're going to talk about it. So don't even throw that out there. But we're going to talk about it here in a second.
Are we gonna talk about it right now? Yeah, because I mean, yeah, but it's the same thing, and that's the point I'm trying to make. But we don't get to the Eagles.
Okay.
We don't get to the Eagles. So we both agree Dallas Cowboys are definitely contenders. I can't hate there. But yeah, the Eagles are definitely contenders as well. And to keep that conversation going real quick, the Philadelphia Eagles understand, just like Jalen Hurts said, keep the main thing the main thing. The main thing is to win games. And if we have to run for 230 yards to do that, if we have to pass for 400 yards to do that, he's done both. He's done both of them. So I'm not worried about, the Eagles trusting Jalen. I think they trust Jalen Hurts to be egoless, and understand, selfless, I think is a better word. He's selfless enough to understand, hey, this ain't my game. Let me hand this ball off. Let me get this rock to my guy that's got the hand right now. And let's win a freaking game. And that's what you want out of your quarterback. So the same way that I take shots at you and make, digs at you, I don't trust that. But that I'm saying that because it's been said so much about my quarterback when I don't think it's true. If you're winning, that's all that matters. I don't care if Jalen Hurts don't throw one pass. If we win, that's all that matters to me. And we saw what he did in the Super Bowl. That boy is
last
real.
year. That was last year. I'm not.
But that's still who he is.
Yeah, but no,
that's still who he is.
No, we still can't go on what happened last year. This is a whole new year now. You feel me? And you guys are definitely a contender. Okay, you guys got the offense, you got offensive line, you got a run game and Swift. You got 2 elite receivers. No lie, your defense is very good. I mean, you got a great front line. That's what we talked about. Build it from inside out, and you guys have a really great front line. So you're definitely contending in that aspect. But to sit there and tell me, when you sit there and say, "Oh, we're gonna do what we need to do to win. If we're not be able to throw the ball, we're gonna run." That's the smart football, right? But definitely. I still feel like y'all don't trust him at times because when it's almost like it's a tight game, y'all start going with those quarterback sneaks. Y'all start going with those quarterback runs. That's what I'm talking about, Joe.
That's on Brian Johnson, though. That's literally on Brian, because we didn't do that last year. We didn't do that last year. We didn't do that last year.
You did it against us last year.
QB sneaks. On like the one, like when we do the 1 yard runs, like the push.
I'm just saying, no, the QB sneaks and QB runs. When you guys were playing us, y'all kept it close to the vest that whole damn game, and Hurts was not throwing the ball well. And they started doing the design run plays where he was just getting it, taking it, and running it. They started doing those design run plays and they started saying, "Look, let's keep it close to the vest. Let's really grind this out in the run game, and let's not really throw it like that." And I've seen it before, and I'm seeing it again. That when that game starts getting tight, y'all start going to design runs, and y'all do design runs with Jalen Hurts. It's not that he's just scrambling out of the pocket, but it looks like at times when he's in that pocket and it gets tight, that he looks to run it more. He looks to, okay, I'll look at my first read, it's not there, then I'm going to run if it's open. It looks like he trusts that run a little bit more than that pass, just from my perspective, and I see the play calling as well.
Yeah, I mean, I agree definitely. When Jalen Hurts is not playing well, they start running it. But we just said that was smart football, right? If somebody's not having a good game, you go to the hot hand. He has that ability. He
definitely hasn't had good games so far
this year.
Yeah.
So Dak hasn't either. Then, if we're just looking at numbers, like if we're just looking at passing numbers,
he just turned up last week. What'd your guy do?
You guys have 30 more yards passing per game than us.
Because
literally 30 yards.
We didn't play. Y'all didn't play in a tsunami. Y'all
played. We played in rain too.
You played in rain.
Y'all acting like if it was that bad of weather, y'all would have canceled the game. And don't y'all have a dome?
Yeah, we have a dome.
So what does that matter?
It matters.
It matters. Bro, I'm sorry. I get it. They both played in bad weather in the first week. At the end of the day, we'll see it towards the end, but I do not think Jalen has 2 turnovers, so you can put that on him. I don't think that they don't trust him. I think that they understand he has multifaceted game. Like he can be a runner, he can be a passer, he can be Dak plus 10. Like he's
a passing running quarterback. Period.
Yeah, and that's dangerous.
That is dangerous.
You could say if Steve Young was a passing running quarterback. That boy won some Super Bowls.
He did. He won a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, he won one. You're right. But I mean, you could say he was that.
Steve Young did run that damn ball.
He ran a lot.
But I knew Steve Young could throw that damn ball. So let's not compare that.
So can Jalen. Jalen had
not like no damn Steve Young.
Jalen had one of his, not like a Steve Young. No, maybe that's
his passing numbers are not crazy last year. Pull him up
in the what's it called when he was in the Super Bowl. That boy went crazy.
You're going to the Super Bowl, but for the whole year, Joe, was he throwing the ball around everywhere?
He had a couple games that he had over 300 yards. Yes,
a couple exactly.
And he had 2 wide receivers over 1,000. I mean, we are a running team. We're a run first team. We like to. Right. We have an offensive line
you're a running
gasses
team.
People.
You're just a running team
that passed for over 300 yards in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
That's what we are.
You keep on going to that damn Super Bowl
because we were in the Super Bowl. I know y'all can't go to it, but we can.
That's fine, but you ain't win it though.
Hey, y'all didn't even make it there. Y'all lost to Brock Ugly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Y'all lost to Brock Ugly.
Well, you know what? You got lucky with that injury. Thank you for Hassan No Show Reddick.
Hassan gonna be fine. He's a little
Hassan ain't doing
right
nothing.
He ain't Micah Parsons has a half a sack against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Man, Micah Parsons is the best in the league.
That has a half a sack. He's the best in the league that can't play against the Eagles. That's because he wants to be an Eagle.
Okay, watch. He don't want to be no damn Eagle. He's gonna turn up against y'all, dog. He's the best in the league right now. He's gonna kill y'all, bros.
He ain't gonna do nothing. He gonna get another half a sack, maybe.
But, okay, well, just shut that Hassan Reddick and Micah Parsons talk down. Shut it down. Don't say.
I've never. I'll put Jalen Carter against Micah now.
No, yeah, of course you could, but you can't because my guy plays a different position. Your guy plays the same position as mine. Hassan Reddick and Micah Parsons. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if they play the same position. I don't think they're asked to do the same thing. Your guys asked to do a little bit more. And yeah, I mean, look, Micah Parsons is better than Hassan Reddick. And people are going to, get mad that I say that. I really don't care. I love Hassan Reddick. That's my dog. But it is like it is what it is. He is better. But, I'll put Jalen Carter as a player just like up against anybody. Jalen Carter is a dog. Jalen Carter is a dog.
But my guy is the best in the league.
And Jalen Carter going to be soon, too. Jalen Carter soon going to be, too. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Rudy Poo, with the $5 super chat. He said, we back to Dinkin and Dakin. Yep, facts.
I can admit it. I don't have any problem with that. I never wanted Dak to be a guy that was throwing for 400 yards anyway when he first came to the Cowboys. That's not what he is, in my opinion. I don't feel like he's a guy that you need to chuck it around. You need to be. Dak is around that 25 to 30 passes in a game. You have a good running game with him. Dak's not no running quarterback. Dak is throwing the ball now. He does not sit there and run. Dak don't run no more. He throws the ball. So I'm going to say Dak is more of a throwing quarterback than any kind of a running quarterback. But have a good run game with him because it makes him even better because he's good with his play action. He's great when you can people hate on him, but his pre-snap is very, very good. People don't talk about it enough, his pre-snap. But that's okay. I'm cool with Dinkin and Duncan. I'm definitely cool with that. We win in games. I'm cool with that. I don't have no problem with Dinkin and Duncan.
Exactly. And so are we. We happy with what Jalen Hurts is. He's a leader. Our
guy's a leader too.
Hey, he can't lead y'all to the Super Bowl, but our guys.
Your guy can't lead you to a Super Bowl win.
Hey, well, he got to the Super Bowl. He got there. He got there. If I go to the club,
it wasn't him.
If I go to the club, I'm not listening to guys that are outside that can't pay the fee. That's all I'm saying. Because we could pay the fee. We got in the club. We was in VIP popping bottles.
Right.
We just didn't get the girl at the end of the night.
You're right. Joe Johnson at the quarterback. Like I said, you got lucky with that injury. You played the Giants. Great.
You guys just played the Giants.
Right. And we saw what the Giants were.
Exactly.
Like Denny Green said. We thought who they thought we can't even get it out. we knew that something. Y'all know that. I can't even get it out. Y'all can't. I can't.
They were who we thought they were.
Yeah,
Right?
there you go. That's exactly right. Like I
Don't
said.
disrespect me like that, bro. I said Joe Scott. Don't do me like that. I'll take Joe A. Smith. That was funny, but don't do me like that. And I don't know why they said Bart is Eagle. He was not a former Eagle. Shout out to my guy Digital Print House. He's with the $2 super chat. He said we doing this. Wow, I can't even talk either, bro. What's going on with us? We getting old, man. He said, "What are we doing for this game? Let's link Castro." Yeah, holla at me, bro. Text me. I want to talk to you anyways because I want to get these hats popping again. But yeah, I'm glad you came in here. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. But so yeah, we both agree Cowboys and the Eagles are contenders. Maybe for similar reasons, to be 100%. Obviously, our defense hasn't been what we expected to be, but there has been a lot of injuries. Not using excuses, but once they start getting to their but once they get
sounds
healthy,
like you're using excuses.
What I mean, bro, losing Avonte Maddox, you didn't have your starting safety, you don't have your starting linebacker. It's a little tough. It's a little tough.
So then I'm gonna be able to say that too. Then you hear this, Drew. You hear your guy say this, right? Drew,
it's not
are you
an
listening to
excuse.
Joe?
We won.
Okay,
It's not an excuse. We won.
So all right.
I'm just saying we're gonna get even better.
We lost Trevin Diggs and we lost DeMarvion Overshown, which I can't really count Overshown because he was a rookie. But you lost one of the best players in the game. One of the best players in the game, one of the best players that you did not want to lose. So I'm not going to make no excuse because I feel like our team will still be okay. But I can sit there and say, well, damn, we don't got Diggs too. I can say that then, right?
So you think Diggs is one of the best players in the league?
He's one of the best cornerbacks in the league, yes.
Do you think he's better than Bradbury or Slay?
Hell yes, he's better than Bradbury. Hell yeah, and I'm taking him over Slay too.
Nah, he's not. No, he's not. Bradbury was one of the best by the numbers.
Bro,
he's
better than Bradbury, dude. And you're talking crazy in your dome. If you think James Bradbury is better than Trevin Diggs, are you talking crazy, bro?
Yeah, Bradbury is definitely better than James.
No, he's not. It's not even close that they're the same.
I'll
give you Slay. I'll give you Slay. Slay is a baller. I'll give you Slay. Slay is a baller. But Diggs, opportunist, playmaker, no, not even close. Not even close.
I'm taking James.
My dude's got like 17 interceptions in 4 years. How many of your dudes got? And my dude.
So interceptions is all that matters?
No, it's not. But my dude was the top cover guy in the league before he got hurt. Was yours?
Diggs is good. I'll give him that.
Was yours? I'm asking you. Was yours?
Was it? He wasn't. James Bradbury was. James Bradbury by the numbers was.
This year?
No, last year.
Okay, why you keep
bro,
talking about
it's
last
only
year?
because it's only 2 games,
year, bro. So
if we're only comparing, all right, so let me just pick out the Giants games that we played and the Jets game that we played last year.
I'm saying though,
that's what I'm saying. That's the only teams we play. I get it. Though. He did
last year though, bro. Like I mean, he's better. He is. I don't care what you tell me. You gonna tell me if you had to take a chance, you would take if you had Bradbury or Trevin Diggs, opposite of Slay, you would take Bradbury over Diggs. You a whole lie.
Because of age.
You a whole lie.
Because of age, I would take Diggs. Because of age, I would take Diggs.
You would take him over that with the playmaking ability. No,
Bradbury.
you would not. You would.
Bradbury the man.
Bradbury
that dude. Swab TV says Bradbury flinches when he hears the name CeeDee. They just lie. That's a lie.
CeeDee gonna cook him again. Don't put him on him. He gonna cook him. You know that.
CeeDee ain't doing nothing.
CeeDee's turning up, right?
CeeDee's all y'all got. I feel like y'all in the same position as y'all was last year. That's the only wide receiver y'all got. Y'all been telling me Gallup gonna turn up for like the past 10 years. He ain't done nothing.
But like I said, we still got Jalen Tolbert. You go sleep on him. He's gonna be very good.
I like Tolbert.
Jalen Tolbert's nice. You feel me? And then I know y'all be hating on Cooks, but Cooks is gonna have a good year.
Maybe if he can stay healthy, if he can stay on the field, you know. That's always been his knock. He just gets hurt a lot, but I mean, he is good. I ain't gonna lie there. And Jalen Tolbert, we talked about him all off season, so yeah, I mean, I like him. I ain't gonna.
Yeah, I'll take CeeDee over Devontae Smith any day too.
Nah, that's
yeah.
CeeDee would be like CeeDee would be like number 3.
Yeah, nope. And them numbers ain't showing number 3.
Sadika said, "I'm so tired of hearing about last year. Joe, come off it. That's what y'all talk about too.
I'm not talking about last year. Nothing. I'm talking about
you had
this year.
2 easy games, so of course you're gonna want to talk about
easy.
those.
Now the Jets is easy. Now, okay,
the Jets was easy. Defensively, you had an easy time against the Jets
because we made it because our
offense is trash.
Wow,
Zach Lawrence is garbage,
bro.
Zach Lawrence is garbage.
Okay, you keep saying that, bro, but we stopped them. Their defense had opportunities to stop us, and they didn't. That
Yeah.
was a top defense. All of a sudden, now this defense ain't good. All
I
of a
didn't
sudden,
say that. I literally didn't even say
that
that.
was a top defense in the
Oh,
league, and everybody's saying that we dissected it.
you did, but offensively they suck, and defensively you had an easy time.
That's not our fault.
It's not. It's not. Just like
You got to
it's
play
not.
the game. You feel me?
Just now. Who said? Don't use no derogatory
What?
words in the
Who
chat.
said
I don't
that?
know who said that.
Who said what? Who said what?
Somebody said that. Did somebody call you the G word? I don't even want to say because I don't want us to get demonetized. I ain't gonna lie, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
But yeah, if y'all using derogatory terms in there, chill out. We will kick people out because I just started doing it and it feels good. So if my girl sees it, she's gonna kick you out if it's in my chat. But anyways, yeah, look, we that was actually really fun. And next week maybe we keep this going because I'm sure it's gonna lower the number of teams so we can do other topics as well. But before we get out of here, I want to just do maybe a quick 3 keys to each of our game. You guys obviously have the Cardinals, so I guess your biggest key is just show up because they are trash. But, what are your 3 keys for your guys against the Cardinals? And then I'll give it.
My 3 keys: establish the run game once again. I think we had like 45 carries in that last game. Let's go ahead and do that again. Let's wear that Cardinals defense down early. Like I said, you don't got to prove nothing with Dak and throw the ball everywhere with them. Just, you know what I'm saying? Come in, run the ball, establish it with Tony Pollard. I think Tony Pollard, Rico Dowdell can have a big game against that Cardinals team. On defensively, just get after, what's his name? Josh Dobbs. I think it's Joshua Dobbs. Get after him. He can run the ball. We played him last year against the Tennessee Titans. He was their quarterback last year. He can run. So just basically contain him in that run game. They don't really got nothing. I think just get after Dobbs early. You feel me? Get after Dobbs early. Make him make mistakes. Keep him in the pocket because Zach Wilson ran for like 40 yards on us in that game, and he had a couple big runs that kind of hurt us, and I don't like that, especially when he's running up the middle. I don't like that. So contain Dobbs. Don't let him get off in that run game. Establish the run on our end, and once we establish the run, I think we'll just start rolling play action, things of that nature. I wouldn't mind seeing them have a real kind of fast-paced offense, quick to the line, kind of a no huddle, kind of really put the fast pace and start that out because Arizona's like a home game to Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Our fans travel well out there. So we're going to be thick out there as far as the audience. So establish the run game, play action will be huge, have a quick kind of run offense. And I think after maybe second quarter, we start really blowing them out and doing their thing. Cause I told you how I feel about Gannon and that squad. So I really want to stomp them and destroy them and do all that good stuff.
Yeah, do it for us, brother. Do it for us. We hate Gannon. We hate Gannon just as much, if not more. So trust me, hey, we ain't mad at it. This will probably be the first time that we're like, I wouldn't say we're rooting for y'all, but we're not gonna be too mad when y'all lose. This is a win-win for us. We don't like Gannon, so yeah, knock that. I hate him. Anyways, shout out to Bird Gang for taking accountability and saying he apologized. Like you didn't have to apologize, but just we trying to keep it respectful in the chat. So I appreciate you calling yourself out. We ain't gonna kick you out or anything, but yeah, I appreciate that. I really do. But yeah, as far as the Eagles go with Baker Mayfield led Tampa Bay Bucks, for me, I want to be real. I'm not gonna hate on them. You got to clog the middle of the field. Baker Mayfield has been very, very, very accurate over the middle of the field. I think he's like 23 of 26 over the middle of the field the first 2 games. He's got a touchdown, 1 interception, if I'm not mistaken. You have to. They're not blocking you, are they? Did they block you again? Nobody blocked you. Shut up. But anyways, you have to be able to clog the middle of the field because the middle of the field is where he's getting his cookies. And the Eagles are not that good on the middle of the field, so we have to correct that. Obviously, no Avonte Maddox, so it's going to be very interesting to see who they put in that slot. But whoever they put in that slot, you're going to have to be ready for guys like Mike Evans, guys like Chris Godwin to go slide into that slot, and their tight end. Their tight end has played most of the snaps in the slot. So I think those 2 spots, the middle of the field and the slot position, are going to be very key defensively. And then offensively, run the damn ball. They are the number 2 run defense in the league. Test that early and often. Test that early and often.
I can't wait to see y'all's game. I ain't going to lie. That's the game.
We got to go out there and dominate. We got to go out there and dominate.
And I don't think y'all are. And now I think the thing that's going to come down to your game, like I said, is Baker Mayfield. If Baker Mayfield comes in there and plays crazy, y'all might lose.
We might, if it was a 5th, we'd all be drunk. But
I
I
feel that.
think that
I feel
as
that.
long as we go out there, dominate on the run game, like I said, utilize your front lines, man. You know,
Mhm.
and defensively, you could even say the defensive line is going to be big, but I think everybody knows that. So it comes down to our offensive line just dominating and leading the way in that run game. So that's where I'm at. And yeah, he says
What if
we're
what if what if Jalen Hurts has another game where he kind of struggles and they ain't really throwing the ball? What you gonna say?
I'm gonna say they need to fix it. I mean, there
Mm.
ain't much to say. You
I'm
got to
watching.
fix it.
That's my eyes. I'm keeping my eyes on that in particular. Your new offensive coordinator. See, does he get conservative again? Because that's what I'm watching from your team. That when it starts getting close, do they start pulling it close to the vest, and we start seeing a lot of runs? We're not seeing him really. We're not seeing him challenge the field, the field downfield. The quick short passes now. We don't really want to make no mistakes. We just want to get this win. That will come back and bite you, Joe, in the end later on in the year. It will. It will. Just remember what I said.
I agree. No, my thing is they have to start the game. So and again, this is what I've seen, and I could be wrong. You know, things could change, and I could be wrong. But from what I've seen is that they start the game off and they want to throw the ball down the field every play. Like the first 5 plays are usually like long developing plays. You can't do that. You know, the Eagles need to understand that your offensive line needs to gain confidence over the game. Your quarterback needs to gain confidence over the game, and if you're not running the ball, nothing's going to be open over top. Like that's just not going to happen. You know, you've seen once the Eagles started actually running the ball against the Vikings, then you start hitting Devontae Smith down the seams. Then you start hitting AJ Brown on 9 routes. Like that's what opens up the rest of the game. And we can't just go in there thinking we're just going to throw over the top of a lot of people. That's not what's going to happen. But at the same time, the Buccaneers aren't the best in coverage. I mean, they have a really good rookie. I forget his name, but Carlton Davis is out. You know, they can definitely be susceptible to some stuff. And I don't think that they're going to be running the same type of defense as the Patriots and the Vikings ran. You know, both had similar styles of defense, right? You have Brian Flores out there for the Vikings. So I think that it's going to be interesting. Yeah, I'm nervous that I don't want to see Jalen Hurts struggle anymore, but I do think that it comes down to play calling. I think that the play caller needs to set the team up for success. So I will be upset if Jalen Hurts struggles, but depending on what the struggle is, I might put it on Brian Johnson, to be honest, because I don't feel like he's right now putting that team in the best situations, right? Not putting his offense in the best positions to be successful. So Jalen needs to be better, but so does our offensive coordinator. That's really where I'm at.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I'm keeping your eye on your offensive coordinator. He's the main one I'm looking at how he really runs this offense because this is his first year, right? With you guys, or has he been in with the program?
Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
This is his, I think, 3rd year with us. He was the quarterback coach.
Okay.
But he's known Jalen his whole life. So
Okay. Okay. Well, that's like I said, that's the main thing that I'm keeping my eye on is that do they get conservative when it gets tight? That's what I'm going to look because I'm going to feel like when that happens, you don't trust your quarterback when that happens. Now, we understand smart football. You know, you don't want to keep chucking it everywhere. You got to play smart football. But it just seems to me that already, like when it gets tight, let's go back to that run game. And the design runs for the quarterback, not really running it with DeAndre Swift, Joe, but the design runs with your quarterback. That to me shows I don't have the confidence in him that we can throw this first down. I'm going to go with a RPO on maybe 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 5. You know what I'm saying? And run it because that's what I've been seeing a little bit so far. Yes, I've watched the games. I ain't gonna lie, I've watched the games. You're a opponent, so I'm going to keep my eyes on. I'm going to be scouting teams. You feel me? So I'm definitely going to watch it. But one thing I've noticed is that when it gets kind of close, if it's a 3rd and short, and we don't go for the pass, we're going to do an RPO on that play. We're going to run that and get that run for the first down. And their design runs for the quarterback. And we've seen that before when with teams when you have a kind of a guy who's a run pass quarterback or a pass run quarterback. When it gets tight, they will do those design runs with quarterbacks to get those first downs. We've seen it, so that's just something I'm looking at.
Yeah, this is going to be big games for the Eagles. I'm not going to say here and lie. You know, you had a mini bye week, and it's not because the team is good. It's because you had that mini bye. Anything that was messed up, you should be able to figure it out now. If you don't, I'm going to be questioning that coaching. To be 100% honest, Linda did say that we did kind of adjust in that Vikings game, which I agree. And I'm hoping that last drive of the second quarter is kind of a wake up call for Brian Johnson because it did kind of change the play calling after that. So I'm hoping that that's kind of him being like, okay, I guess we got to get a pretty good offensive. I don't know what he needs to find out, but this is a big game for us. We got to go out there and perform. Our schedule is only getting harder. Same thing with y'all. After the Cardinals, your schedule is only going to get harder. These are the games
we ready
to win.
we ready
So,
yeah, we ready.
Hey,
We got the Patriots, we got the Niners, we got the Chargers. We ready for that. And then we
y'all
got
better not lose to the Patriots.
We ain't losing no damn Patriots.
If y'all lose to the Patriots,
we ain't losing.
God.
Oh, we ain't losing no Patriots. You better not lose to the Bucks. Worry about them
We
Bucks.
ain't losing no Bucks. I'm gonna be at that game too.
Okay,
so.
good, because I'm gonna watch you cry because I think Baker Mayfield going because y'all already y'all escaped the Patriots, and that's why you're saying
don't escape the Patriots. We never trailed the Patriots. They made a little comeback.
How did y'all not escape, bro? You were probably standing up screaming at that damn TV when they were driving the ball down the field after Jalen Hurts made that critical fumble. After Jalen Hurts made that critical fumble on that design run, on that design run play. Oh, it was cover 2 and he did the design. Get out of here. Get out of here with that. With y'all missed me with that. Y'all was running the damn ball at the end of the game with Jalen Hurts and he was doing them damn RPOs and just taking it and running it. Yeah, you saw and he did it and he fumbled. They got the ball back, and you, by God, the grace of football gods, was lucky that man was out of bounds on that play, on that 4th down that took him inside the 10-yard line, because they was going to beat you.
They wasn't going to beat us.
Yeah,
you're right. That was stupid play calling. That was stupid. And again, that's why I said that's on Brian Johnson, bro. I don't want to see my quarterback doing counters on 3rd and 9. That
feel
makes no sense.
And that's what he was doing. And people in the chat like y'all wasn't doing that. Hey, calling me a liar. I watched it. That's what they was doing.
Yeah, we was talking about that. I'll be screaming, bro. Me and my girl both was. I'm surprised our TV still, works because the way we be yelling.
I know. Come on, because like I said, dog, don't tell me they didn't threaten y'all because y'all jumped on them early, but y'all scored 9 whole points in the second half, 3 field goals. That's it.
I mean, but we were up, right? That's what y'all was saying against the Giants. Y'all ain't scoring nothing in the second half.
Or against the Giants, we didn't need to. We mollywopped them.
Exactly. We didn't need to against the Vikings. We won.
Oh, okay. Well, they was on you, though.
Yeah, it was way too close.
Kirk Cousins dissected that defense.
He did, and that's gonna be something we gotta fix, man. We gotta figure out who's gonna be starting for us. Yeah, Job out there.
Okay, Linda, I hear you, Linda. Enough to win. Yeah, a win is a win now. Now all of a sudden, a win is a win. I hear that's y'all's mantra now. Oh,
y'all been saying it too. We
ain't been saying nothing. We've been blowing people out.
Hey. Yeah, if y'all could win in the playoffs, y'all be saying win is a win. If Dak Prescott throws for 1 yard in the playoffs, but y'all win, y'all will be win is a win. I'm
gonna never go against that. I'm just trolling right now.
I know, but hey, man, this was dope, man. We still got 150 people in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We went over about a half hour, so because we love y'all, But the chat was crazy today, y'all. Y'all need to stop calling me Joe Scott, though. I'm not taking that. I'll tell you that right now.
For real. y'all, because my guy Trey jumped in there and defended you, said Joe is definitely not Scott, and he's not. So just chill out. Just chill out. You know what I'm saying? Just stop that. You know what I mean? He ain't no damn Bart Scott. No, nothing. That ain't even close, dog. My man gives Cowboys mad love as far as respect, as far as this is what y'all are. He always says, I hate to say this for you about y'all because I can't stand y'all, but he always gives honest, real analysis. So don't even throw that Bart Scott crap over there to my dog. That ain't even that ain't even funny.
Yeah, what he said was just it wasn't even what he said, it's the smirk after. Because he could have realistically, when I was listening to it, and this might be a hot take, but when I was listening to it, I was like, yeah, it sucks. Like they're unlucky. Something always feels like it happens, but it was the smirk after. It was like he was happy to say it. It's like, damn, bro. Like that's grimy as hell. But Bart's are gonna be Bart, and I've never met a Bart that I was like, oh, that dude's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Bart Simpson was a menace, so like that's the only other Bart I know. So, too much. I already gave him too much life. But you got anything you want to say to these beautiful people before we head out of here?
All of y'all ain't beautiful. That's what I'm gonna tell y'all.
The Eagles fans are beautiful. The Eagles.
No, y'all Eagles fans ain't all beautiful. Y'all be talking some dumb stuff. For the most part, most of y'all good, but some of y'all just be on some goofy stuff. Y'all just some weirdos. Some of y'all just some weirdos at that point. Even on mine, that say the weirdo behavior. Y'all just weirdo behavior, and that you're just a weirdo, bro. You're just a weirdo. I'm gonna call you that.
Usually he's so nice to everybody at that.
Nah,
He's
because
just good today.
because I can't go ham like they be saying. I can't go ham as well. So you feel me? I can't go ham. But hey, once again, we appreciate the support on our show. We had another great show today. Again, we like these morning shows, right, Joe? We like
Yeah,
the
these are
10
dope.
a.m., the 11 a.m. These get you ready before you do your college football wherever you're doing. So make sure you continue to hit that like button on all our platforms, YouTube or Facebook on mine, and I'll make sure on our Twitters, if you're out there on the Twitter world, give us a good follow as well. Make sure you continue to support. I can't wait till after this week so we can see what's going on with these records and see if we're both undefeated, and we'll be talking about that again. But make sure you just continue to support Best of Enemies, best Cowboys Eagles podcast out there right now.
Easily. Mel said I be hating. I definitely do be hating too. And
Yeah.
I'll let you know. I'll say it right before I do it too. Like, I'm gonna be hating right now, but I don't care. That's who I am. But no, and look, man, as always, if one of our teams loses, we will come on live and we'll give y'all 20 minutes to talk y'all talk. But I think both teams should be safe this week. Hopefully at least.
I don't know about y'all.
I don't know about y'all then. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
come on, dog.
Come
on, dog. Don't do that.
Y'all should blow them out. We probably have a tougher matchup this week, but I think we'll be fine. I think we should be fine. There's a lot of Eagles fans already in Tampa and Florida. I live out here, so there's a lot of Eagles fans out here. So it's going to be green out there. It's going to be a lot of fun. But as always, we really, really appreciate you guys. Still $1.50 in the chat. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Come back next Saturday. Y'all know what time it is, man. But yeah, other than that, I am Joe. And that is James. And we are the best of enemies.
Peace.
We're brother